It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
So since I picked on you, let me tell you my number one mistake that I did that was a financial decision was I went into politics.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
For 12 years, I was an elected official. And just like we talk about respect the FOO, the financial order of operations, I think there also can be a time order of operations. Sure. And this is, and look, I was noble in my intent. 7 of the years that I was an elected official, I was on the school board.
Yep.
And 5 of those years, 4.5 to 5 of those years, I was a county commissioner. There's a difference there. I'm dividing them on purpose. School board, very fulfilling. I felt like, you had the superintendent, you had the school board members. We all come from very different backgrounds, but we were all very much on the same page, is that our job was to create the best educational opportunity for the 42,000 students that were in our school system. And it felt like we were part of something. We were part of a movement. Then as soon as I went to county commissioner and you had to start putting D's and R's and other things next to your name, and you actually stepped into the arena of politics, guys, it's hard.
Yep.
It's tough. There's a lot of stuff that you're dealing with that has nothing to do with actually creating the world a better place. And I quickly realized what I learned was you have to understand what your why is because I got to tell you, doing the Money Guy show and running this virtual classroom every week and reaching hundreds of thousands of people every month, I'm making the world a better place than I was even doing the political public service.
Sure.
You would think that that's a noble thing, which it is. But for me, I'm much better suited, and I think it is actually the why works better being the money guy.
And I think what's so interesting is even when you were in elected service, Brian, we still had the Money Guy show happening. We still had the wealth management firm operating. But it's amazing that once you did kind of remove yourself from that and move yourself into this purposeful, passion-filled project, it just got better. I think the show got better. I think the content got better. I think the audience grew. I think the firm got better. I think what we did for clients got better. It was amazing when your actual actions and your passion aligned, how much it changed things.
But part of the why is you also, I would tell you, to keep your eye on the ball and know what you're doing. Just like I was talking about time order of operations, maybe public service should have been something I did at the end of my career, after you've got everything else figured out. But I also think about the years I started when I first started my first company in 2002. I had the cleanest spreadsheets and planning and budgets, and I was getting busy doing nothing. And I think you have to, every one of us, life is so precious. Our time on this earth is so limited. Make sure what you're doing has purpose and it aligns with your why, because, guys, it moves quick. I'm a guy who's in my late 40s. I'm realizing, man, this thing's moving so quick and I have so much to do. Don't let a day get behind you without you doing what you really were put on this earth to do. And that's why understand what your why is so powerful.
Love it. Okay, what's my number one worst investment decision? Buying stock in Mattel Toy Company.
Well done, FTE Daniel, by the way. I love this background.
That is a fantastic background. Now, look, you may think, oh, well, Mattel, what, I guess Barbie wasn't a good business or Hot Wheels. No, it wasn't that. I had taken my very first investment course, and there was a big recall. I can't even remember the toy that was recalled. But during my investment course...
It was the paint. I kind of remember this. There was something with the paint.
Yeah, there was something. There was this big recall, and Mattel stock just got hammered. And I said, oh, you know what? I just learned about this whole contrarian thing. No one else has figured this out. I'm going to go buy stock in this toy company because it's been hammered because of this paint thing, and I'm going to be a genius. My $100 investment is going to turn into $10 million. Well, little did I know, it didn't really work that way, because when I bought, the stock still went down further and further and further and further and further. And what I've noticed is as I've matured as an investor, I've done this time and time again. I did this with, early in my career, Sirius Satellite Radio. I thought there's going to be this merger and it's going to be this crazy thing. And what I recognized is when it comes to investing, or even when it comes to just understanding how the financial markets work, I never have it all the way figured out. I can always be learning. And sometimes I need to check myself and say, Bo, maybe you're not quite as smart as you thought you were. Maybe there's still more you have to learn. Maybe there's still more experience you need before you can start making those types of decisions and thinking you have it all figured out.
Well, and look, I want to give you credit. You are a super smart individual. As much as I pick on you about time zones and geography,
And multiplying by 2.
without a doubt, I mean, a guy who can pass the CFA exams, all 3 parts, on the first attempt, a week before your wedding, you take the last one. You're a smart cookie.
Thank you.
But I do think that sometimes even a smart guy like yourself, you can fall into, because when you buy individual holdings, and that's what you were doing when you're buying Mattel, is that you are trying to, you forget that there's all these emotional attachment to this investment. There's also behavioral traps on when you sell this or what the why is on why you hold it. So it's not only on how smart you are, it's also the emotional and the behavioral stuff that gets skewed when you're doing these type of individual holdings.
Yep. You know, I probably would have been much, much, much better off just go buying a low-cost index.